Hey YouTube, welcome back. So here we are, the first week of 2022. I've been thinking a lot about the new year in terms of music and guitar, and it's shaping up to be a pretty good one so far. First, I want to talk about the live music scene. Lots and lots of heavy hitters are on tour in the first half of this year. They're going all over the country, and I suppose it's a factor of COVID having kind of curtailed the touring business for the better part of 2 years. But I think there's a lot of pent-up demand to see live music, and I imagine that the artists and their road crews are really eager to get out there and get back into business. Just looking at some of the upcoming dates in North Carolina that I hope to be able to see soon. It's a pretty exciting list. Coming up in February 17th at the Carolina Theater here in Durham, Kenny Wayne Shepherd with Ali Venable opening. I'm not too familiar with Kenny Wayne Shepherd's music, but I did discover Ali Venable at the Dallas International Guitar Show last year, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment here. But I was not previously aware of her, but she's just a fantastic player and a great performer. So it's worth the price of admission just to see her open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So that's on the 17th in February. 2 days later, on the 19th at the Charlotte Fillmore, Steve Vai, his tour is coming through town. So he's not going to be here in the Durham area, but I'm hoping to get out to Charlotte to catch that one because I've never seen him live before, and I think that would be, some of my close friends have, and they told me I missed out last time, so I'd love to see him. March 22nd here in the Durham Performing Arts Center, Joe Bonamassa is coming back to town. I saw him at the DPAC, I don't know, probably 10 years or so ago. It's been a long time, but I'm looking forward to seeing him again. He always puts on a great show. Eric Johnson, he was supposed to play, I want to say last fall in Durham, actually over in Raleigh, but that was postponed due to COVID. So he'll be playing at the Duke Energy Center April 1st. I've seen Eric twice before. Once was an all acoustic show in Durham, and then once was an electric show at the Ritz in Raleigh. And he's always great. I'd go see him anytime. And then April 16th, Tommy Emmanuel is coming back to town. He'll be at the Carolina Theater in Durham. I missed him last time he was in town. He's just mind-blowing acoustic player, so hoping to see him. But I tell you who I really want to see again this year play live, and that is Eric Gales. I saw him in late 2019 at the Ritz in Raleigh, just before the whole COVID thing kind of shut the world down. He's just released a great new record, I think last month, called Crown, with Joe Bonamassa producing. It's great. It's great. And he actually lives just up the road from here in Greensboro, North Carolina. So he doesn't have any dates in the state right now, but I'm hoping he adds some to the calendar this year. If you haven't seen him before, you owe it to yourself to go see him. He's not just a great guitar player and a great singer. He's a great performer. Both times I saw Eric Johnson, he brought Eric out to join him as kind of a special guest on the last couple of songs for the show. And I mean, Eric Johnson is an amazing player, but Eric Gales is just a dynamite performer, and he just blows the roof off the place when he steps on stage. So really hoping to see him again sometime this year. So that's it so far from the live music scene that I'm aware of. I'm always on the lookout for new shows. But now let's talk about some of the guitar conferences that are going on this year. April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, the Dallas International Guitar Festival is coming around again. I attended this last year for the first time, and I really kind of went on a whim, to be honest. So I only went for a day. And I left feeling like I really missed a lot. And so I'm hoping to go back this year, and I'd like to stay for all 3 days this time. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this festival if you're not familiar with it. So it's kind of a mixture of gear on the one hand, and then a lot of live performances. The gear is almost exclusively focused around vintage stuff, right? So it's like every vintage instrument you can, more than I'd ever seen, right? Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, you name it, you'll probably find it there. I mean, you want a 1959 Fender Bassman, you'll probably find it there. You want a 56 Les Paul gold top, you'll find it there. But I mean, we're talking really, really premium vintage stuff, and so, you know, stuff for 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 and up. I mean, the type of things that I'm really not in the market for. I love looking at vintage instruments. I certainly have an appreciation for them, but I'm not one of these guys that feels like all the best guitars were made decades and decades and decades ago. They're great, but I tend to like more modern stuff, and I think that some of the best guitars ever made are being made right now. So I was hoping to see some more modern manufacturers showcasing off some of their latest products, but that's not really what you'll find at the Dallas Guitar Show. I guess that's more of what the NAMM show is all about. But there is a wonderful selection of live performances as well. They have 2 or 3 different stages set up around the venue, and they have shows going on in parallel, like really from kind of morning till night. And so kind of the highlight for me last year was seeing Larry Mitchell perform. Larry's fantastic. Been watching his stuff on YouTube for years now. In fact, he's kind of the one that introduced me, kind of convinced me that modeling had, with the fractal in particular, had gotten to the point where, at least for my ears, more or less equivalent to what you would hear in a tube amp. And so that's what, he's really the one that convinced me to take the plunge and check out fractals and modeling. And I've kind of been going down that road ever since. So seeing Larry perform live was fantastic. He's like the coolest cat in the room, right? I mean, he's playing, he's just smiling. He's like talking to the guy in the front row, and it's just so effortless. It's amazing. So that was a treat. As I mentioned before, I saw Allie Venable for the first time. She's great. Frank Hannon from Tesla was sort of one of the headliner feature. He played with the house band. He was great. I'd never seen Tesla live. He's just a phenomenal player as well. So hoping to get back there again this year. Would like to stay for all 3 days if I can swing it. Speaking of NAMM a moment ago, you may have heard the news. I think it was announced this week or perhaps the week before. And normally they do 2 NAMM shows a year, right? There's the winter NAMM that's held in Anaheim, and then there's the summer NAMM that's held in Nashville. I guess due to COVID and Omicron and whatnot, they've decided to, they're not going to hold winter NAMM at all this year. So they're just going to do summer NAMM, but instead of doing that in Nashville, they'll do that in Anaheim, and I think that's in early June. So I've never been to a NAMM show. I'd love to. Hopefully I can find a way to attend that one day. And then the last thing I want to mention here is Steve Vai is doing the 6th edition of his Vai Academy. This year it's going to be held in Las Vegas. I think it is August, let me see here, it's August 4 through 8. I've never been to one of the Vai Academies, but I hear that they're really great events. He's got some pretty amazing guests lined up for that one. He's got Larry Mitchell is going to be there as well. Tommy Emmanuel, Guthrie Govan, Nuno Betancourt, and who knows who else. So that looks like a fantastic event, but we'll have to see how the year goes. Maybe I'll be able to swing that. So that's my guitar calendar for the first half of 2022. Let me know in the comment section what shows, what tours you're looking forward to this year, and who knows, maybe I'll see you there. All right. Thanks for watching. Till next time.